Manchester United failed to capitalise on, well, the results of the weekend and also the fact we have games in hand, and close the gap on the top four. A point apiece in Tyneside, and really, I think Newcastle deserved a lot more. But before we get into that, as always, please do hit that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new around here. And I do apologise well for the month hiatus I've been on this channel. I do apologise, and if I am a bit rusty, that's probably why. But I'm hopefully going to be back a lot more regular this time around in the new year. So hopefully more content will be coming very, very soon. So yes, thank you very much to everyone who's been patient with the channel and everything like that. Hopefully we're going to have more streams regularly. Just bogged down with work and stuff really. So hopefully I'm going to get back on the horse, and it should be good. It should be good fun, and hopefully a good year 2022 will be. But unfortunately, we're back with a bang, but Manchester United couldn't come back with a bang after their hiatus. I think it was 16 days United hadn't played a game. 2 games obviously getting called off, the Brighton and Brentford games getting called off. And some people would use that as an excuse, but when you're playing 19th place Newcastle, who with all due respect have won 1 game all season, you cannot produce that sort of performance and expect a positive result. And Newcastle really deserved to win the game. I can't see in any way how we deserved anything but a draw or a defeat. I don't think we deserved to win the game. I think, obviously St-Maximin scored a brilliant goal in the 7th minute, and Newcastle, by all accounts, were all over Manchester United in that first half. We didn't really create too many clear-cut opportunities. Newcastle looked more threatening, and obviously their home fans got behind them as well. And it was difficult for us. It was difficult for us to deal with. And we were fortunate not to be more than 1-0 down at half-time. Obviously, Rangnick then makes a sub. Sancho and Cavani both coming on. Both, I think, having a decent impact, to be fair. I thought, for me, Sancho should have been starting the game on, and I thought he had a decent impact. Obviously, Edinson Cavani had the ultimate impact. My camera's just gone off there. Edinson Cavani had the ultimate impact of scoring the goal, the all-important goal that obviously meant that we didn't go away empty-handed. So in the end of the day, we're looking at a performance which is disjointed, which didn't really lack any sort of, lacked cohesion. It was poor. It was very, very poor. As I said, my camera keeps going off, which I don't understand why it happened. Yeah, we'll have to change something about that. I actually don't know why it's doing that. But yeah, whilst I'm fixing that, I'll get to a few of the comments. QNTV, thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. Have enjoyed going on his channel in my little hiatus. Brilliant stuff over there. Make sure you do check it out if you haven't already. Box, Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for joining, mate. Appreciate it. And Merry Christmas as well to everyone. I didn't do any sort of videos over the Christmas period, so I haven't had a chance to wish you guys Merry Christmas. Hopefully you had a good Christmas day. I know I did. So hopefully you guys did as well. And Adam's joins as well. Thanks for joining, Adam. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining. Another new name, Skits with Adam. Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing those skits, mate. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I don't know why my camera keeps doing this. I really don't know why this is happening. As I said, I mean, people that know will know I've been battling technology these last few days, really. Nothing seems to be going right on this laptop, so I don't know what's going on. But I'm just happy to be live again. Obviously, I want to be talking about a win, and really we should have been talking about a win if football was played on paper, but of course it's not played on paper, and you've got to put in the performance, and we didn't do that today. I can't think of too many positives from a Manchester United point of view. Usually I'd start off with any sort of positives that came out of the game, but I don't think there were many. You know what I'm gonna have to do? I might just have to use a different camera for now, because for some reason something is going wrong. I don't understand what it is. So I do apologise. I don't understand what's going on here, but I don't know. I feel like we're looking at a team which has been managed by a guy for just over 2 weeks, maybe a little bit longer than that. Obviously, we had a lot of time off because of the COVID break, but there doesn't seem to be too much tactical change. I feel like if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was in charge, you wouldn't know the difference. You really wouldn't know the difference today. And listen, I will give Newcastle credit, tremendous credit. I think, as I said at the very start of the show, they fully deserved to win that game, in my opinion. They had the better of the chances. And actually, I think Newcastle fans will be feeling, well, a bit aggrieved, really, coming away from that game. Not only for the fact that they didn't win the game, but now they've picked up a few bad injuries. Callum Wilson and St-Maximin going off before the end. So that could really affect Newcastle's season going forward, especially that they're already in 19th place. But obviously we digress. And I don't know. I felt like, obviously, the first game we saw against Crystal Palace, we'll try the camera again, by the way. The first game we saw against Crystal Palace under Rangnick, we did look good. We looked good. We looked like we actually had some sort of style of play. And obviously we won the game 1-0, but you could really see the difference in the way we played. But since then, we just haven't been up to that level whatsoever, and it's been very Ole Gunnar Solskjaer-esque, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, poor performance. I think individually we were poor. I think with the ball, we were very, very poor, and even without the ball. As I said, not very many positive to take from today's game. A few people have joined us as well. Welcome, Rich. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it, mate. Make sure you check out Rich Sports. And as I said, if you are just joining, hope you guys had a good Christmas as well. I didn't do any videos over the Christmas period, so I didn't have a chance to wish you a Merry Christmas. So hopefully you had a good Christmas, and hopefully you have a good New Year as well. Obviously, that's coming up. Doug's joining us. Doug, thanks for joining. Great stuff over on his channel. Brilliant content. Make sure you check out the Dugout Football channel if you haven't already. He says, United never turned up tonight. Newcastle were more hungrier. United didn't fancy it tonight. Thought Ronaldo was lucky to stay on the pitch too. Nothing looks like it's changed. Either Bruno should be dropped, he goes on to say. Dropped, yeah. I mean, we'll get on to Bruno Fernandes' performance, because his recent performances, as you've mentioned, have been poor. I mean, I can't remember the last good game he had. I think he got an assist against Atalanta in one of our last Champions League games, but I think that was the last contribution he's made to a scoreline, really. So it's difficult, because obviously we know how good Bruno Fernandes can be. We know how important he can be to our way or our attack, and I don't know what's going on with him. I really, really don't. It just seems like tonight and the last few games, nothing's coming off for him. He's trying these Hollywood passes, but nothing's really coming off for him. And I think maybe it would be right for him to, sit on the bench, especially when we've got someone of the talent of Donny van der Beek warming the bench and not getting a look in, even though none of our midfielders are playing well at the moment. I mean, I want a penny for your thoughts, Donny van der Beek. You're not even getting on the pitch when we've got 3 subpar performances from our midfielders, and yet, we're subbing off Fred for Sancho. And listen, I actually, thought Sancho played well, but for me, I didn't understand the fact that Rashford was still on the pitch. I didn't understand the fact that Donny van der Beek didn't get on the pitch. But as I said, it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. But I just feel like we were just poor. And in the race for top 4, the competition looks good. I mean, at first I wasn't really worried about Arsenal, but now, because of this result, even if we do win our next 2 games, we can't catch Arsenal. And that wasn't the case before with the kickoff tonight. So we've already had a little bit of a setback for that. But, Spurs look like they're in the groove. West Ham obviously lost to Southampton, but I think they'll be there or thereabouts. So it's not going to be easy for us to get this top 4, I'm telling you. It really, really isn't. Make sure, Rich will be live at 11 o'clock. Make sure you do check it out. I'm sure you're already primed and ready to watch Rich at 11. Make sure, if you haven't already, remind yourself, because in 9 minutes from now, Rich will be live doing his match reaction of the game. Box says, play one of Greenwood and Rashford, not both. And he also says, time to stop playing Fred and McTominay. Yeah, I agree. Listen, I don't understand how, even under a new manager, we're still seeing the same selection of McTominay and Fred in a pivot together. I feel like, one is enough. One is enough. We don't need to play both of them, especially when you're playing 19th in the table. I can kind of understand it when you're playing a Man City or a Liverpool or a Chelsea. But when you're playing 19th in the table, I don't understand that selection. I really, really don't. And it cost us, really, because again, we couldn't really get any sort of control in the midfield. We couldn't really, get a foothold in the game, and Newcastle exploited that. The amount of times we lost the ball when Newcastle had St-Maximin and Joe Linton and all their forwards running in behind, it was a scary amount of times. And the way our defence is playing at the moment, the last thing we need is to be unprotected and leave them on their own, because we can't trust them. We cannot trust them. But it's just mad how after the first game against Palace, there was so much optimism around Ralph Rangnick. And listen, I'm not turning on Rangnick or anything like that. Obviously, you've got to be critical when criticism is due. And I think there is definitely criticism to be levelled at Rangnick today for some of his selections, but also the players as well. Individually, I can't pick out many players, apart from the man between the sticks, once again, saving our bacon. I can't pick out many good performances, or even average performances from anyone really. I thought Rashford for me was the one I picked out as probably worst performer on the night. As Adam said, Rashford had a big drop in form. He's had a very, very big drop in form. I don't really understand where it's come from. I thought when he first came back from injury, his first few games he was very good. Really good finish against Atalanta in the home game, and then the game before that, his first game back, he finished off a brilliant goal against Leicester. Obviously, we lost the Leicester game, but I thought, you know what, he's looking like a good player right now. He's looking clinical. If we can keep this Rashford fit for the whole season, we'll have a very, very good player on our hands. And since then, he's just dropped dramatically in form, and I don't understand what it is. Again, this is Manchester United. I mean, we've got problems, but they seem to be the same reoccurring problems that we've seen under probably 2 or 3 separate managers now. It's probably time we start looking at the players instead of just aimlessly sacking managers really. But it is what it is. Decisions get made. I mean, we're just fans. We can't do much about it. So yeah, De Gea for me was man of the match, no question about it. As usual. Seems like he's always saving our bacon. Some of the saves he made in the second half, I know St-Maximin probably will feel aggrieved that he didn't put that in the back of the net when he had a tap in from 5 yards out, but De Gea did well to palm it away from danger. And then obviously the shot that was saved from Almiron as well, brilliant save from David De Gea. But we were living dangerously. We were really hanging on by a thread at the end, and it's one of those things where almost as a United fan, at this point, we come to expect it. We come to expect the fact that, we're going to struggle, because recently, if you look at the trends we've been saying recently for our performances, this performance isn't too much of a shock. I mean, if you look at the way we played against Norwich, yes, obviously, we came away with the 3 points, but I didn't see too many differences from our last performance, and it's been at least like 2, maybe even 3 weeks since we played Norwich. So even though obviously we played badly against Norwich, I think everyone was kind of expecting a big reaction and a big difference in the performance levels, especially after having that amount of time to train and have that time off. But there was absolutely no difference in my opinion, and it was just that Newcastle had a player that could take a chance. On another day, we potentially walk away with a 1-0 win there, and somehow scrag another 3 points from somewhere. But obviously Newcastle actually have some quality players going forward, so we got punished. And if we were playing any team of any sort of quality, we would have got punished again. We would have got absolutely bad today. No doubt about it. Box asks, what is your 11 for Burnley? I think I'd play Van der Beek, and I think I'd play Sancho from the start. I think I'd drop Rashford, and I think I'd probably drop Scott McTominay. I think I'd play Fred and Van der Beek. You could potentially drop both McTominay and Fred and play Matic next to Van der Beek. As we've seen, Matic and Van der Beek seem to have a very solid partnership between them. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the sort of thing that we go for. That's what I would definitely go for. But yeah, we'll see. And Box says he'd play De Gea, Telles, Varane, Bailly, Dalot, Matic, Fred, Fernandes, Ronaldo, Cavani and Sancho. I like the look of it. Obviously Bailly coming back in as well. I think Bailly as well will feel hard done by. Looking at our defensive woes, obviously, Varane had to come back in. And he didn't have the best of games. He looked really rusty today, and hopefully it is just a bit of rust and not just a bad run of form about to start. But yeah, hopefully it's just the fact it's his first game back from injury and he's looking a bit rusty. But yeah, we seem to just be in a bad patch of form right now, but we've been kind of scraping results out of the barrel, and I don't know how, but somehow Rangnick's still unbeaten. You know, the first few games in charge have been very, very close indeed. Football Crew Show, thank you for joining. Appreciate it. He's dropped Ronaldo, Rashford, Bruno, and play Sancho, Donny, and Cavani. I don't think anyone can argue with that, to be honest with you, mate. I don't think anyone can really argue with your point of view there. I think all three of those players, even Ronaldo, I thought Ronaldo was pretty anonymous tonight. He had some good touches, but he was pretty anonymous all in all. Didn't really create too many opportunities. I was kind of hoping that he would do what he usually does, and even when he doesn't really play that well, just comes up at the end with a goal and, you know, wins us the game. Unfortunately, it didn't end up happening. The ball didn't end up falling for him. But yeah, Rashford and Bruno recently have been absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with this camera. I really don't know what's going on. But to be honest with you guys, I wasn't planning on going live for that long. Obviously, if the equipment is not going to work, then there's probably no point. You know, quality over quantity and all that. But obviously we've got a game in a couple of days anyway, so I should be able to do a match preview for that, which will be a lot better than this, and hopefully all this glitches and everything will be sorted out, and we'll get back to how we used to stream and how we were before we had the hiatus. So probably last few comments before we do wrap up. It's only going to be a short stream tonight. Box says bench Henderson, Maguire, Shaw, Fred, McTominay, Mata, Elanga, Greenwood, and Rashford. Yeah, fair enough. I do apologise, Allan. I do apologise. As I said, I don't know what's going on with the technology right now. So I'll probably, get you on when it doesn't keep, glitching and messing up. That's probably the best thing. As I said, quality over quantity. So that's probably what I'm going to do. And Football Crucial says, I think this interim manager system ain't working. This is why we played awful today. I don't know what's going on, to be honest. I mean, it seemed like everyone was shouting at each other. Gary Neville on Sky Sports had a really big go at the likes of Fernandes and Ronaldo just shouting at each other. And it's not a good look. It's not a good look, I have to say. However, what I would say is that you do want to see a bit of passion. You do want to see a bit of leadership. So I'm not too against players kind of having a go at one another if it's warranted and if it's kind of more of a encouraging kind of, come on, wake up, we need to, get our foothold in this game. But there was a lot of whinging, and it's frustrating really, because you just think, play better. Simple as that, play better. You can talk all you want, but you've got to do your talking on the pitch. And Boxer, Kieran has to leave Adam, he has to watch Mrs. Brown's Boys. That's the last thing I would be doing. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I won't be watching Mrs. Brown's Boys. Hey, if you like Mrs. Brown's Boys, fair play to you, but it's not my cup of tea really. I'm more of a hot chocolate man. And Box said, I can't stand Neville, always moaning about something. Yeah, I've seen some people say that. But I mean, in this case, I don't think he's too far wrong, to be honest. I don't think he is too far wrong. But yeah, obviously everyone's got their own opinions. But listen, I'm going to leave it there. As I said, it seems to keep glitching and stuff like that. And also, there's not much to say really on this Manchester United performance. I think I've just said all I've got to say. And all there is to say now is we need to bounce back against Burnley. There has to be a big response on the 30th against Burnley in 3 days' time on Thursday night. So, yeah, it's not going to be easy, to be honest, because in the end of the day, Burnley at home has always been a fixture that has troubled us. But hopefully we get back to winning ways, get the 3 points, and just forget about this. This is all we can do. But worrying signs really, because the last three performances really haven't been good enough. And if we keep playing like that, we will get nowhere near the top four. And Ronaldo, all these brilliant players will be playing Europa League football, which would be an absolute travesty. But listen, thanks for watching, and thank you very much for welcoming me back to the YouTube space. Really do appreciate it. Hit that like button if you aren't already as well. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. And thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one, which will probably be a Burnley preview. But until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.